You know, I want these videos that we're doing, you know, to be real and raw and not edited. And so everybody that comes to my website or sees these videos on YouTube, that they get a really good feel of me. Because part of recovery from an eating disorder is letting go of perfectionism. So I'm doing that today. I'm ready for my first question. Okay.
What does it take for someone to recover from an eating disorder?
Yeah, that's like such a big question. And I was semi-prepared for the big question. I have my notes right here because I don't want to forget anything. But just how it wasn't just one thing that caused an eating disorder, caused you to start to struggle. It's not just one thing that's going to help you with recovery. So I would love to take this time and quickly share my top 10 that helped me. And I love that I'm able to say that I'm now 14 years free and probably counting depending on how long this video stays on my website. But as of today, I'm 14 years free. Here's how I got there. The number one thing that helped me was the physical component. Like I really started to understand the physical damage I was doing to my body. I didn't feel good, I was weak, I was having all kinds of symptoms, and my eating disorder voice would make me believe it's anything but the eating disorder, but in reality, that's exactly what it was. So understanding my physical damage. Number 2 was spirituality. Now this looks different for everybody, but for me, it was really surrendering to God and saying, you've got to take this wheel because I cannot do this on my own. And I'm really scared, like in a dark place. So I had that moment of let go. Number 3, trauma. I had some past trauma that I really hadn't dealt with. I thought I did, but no, I had not. And I really needed to heal those parts of me that were still hurting and carrying some sadness. Honesty. I had to deal with some like thoughts and emotions that I was carrying around with me that gave me a lot of guilt and shame. And it was hard to like admit some of those things, but getting real honest about it helped a lot. Authenticity. I had to look at my life and where I was incongruent with my own values and what was important to my soul and make some scary decisions to line up in being my authentic self. Love. I finally opened myself up to real love, not superficial, surface love. Oh, we look good together, you're hot, all that kind of stuff. That being the only basis. I opened myself up to love and became vulnerable and really found someone who is hot too, but really loves me for me, and it has nothing to do with appearance and just physical attraction. Nutrition, it's an important part of this, is learning how to take care of your body. Acceptance. I had to, and this is not easy to do, but I had to accept my natural healthy weight. And if I can do it, I know you can do it, because I never even thought it was possible. And that's part of what I do as a coach, is help other people learn how to accept their own body and love themselves. Emotions, I had to learn how to deal with difficult emotions, because we live in this world where there's darkness and there's pain and there's anger and there's all these difficult feelings that we have, and it's part of the human experience. So learning how to handle that within myself and riding those waves was super important. And then lastly, the biggest component is embracing my temperaments. I tend to be a perfectionist. I tend to take on way too much and say yes, 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 overdo it, get out of balance. And so through recovery, I now know how to be mindful. And when I get out of balance, I now know how to bring myself back. So it's not about getting rid of my temperament or like I need to fix myself. It's embracing those aspects and learning how to work with them in your life. It's okay.
How is coaching different than therapy?
Yeah, I really love this question. It's super important to talk about. Because when you're trying to recover from an eating disorder, sometimes you need multiple professionals, everybody operating in their genius to help you. And so a therapist, really can focus on past family of origin, traumatic events, maybe some type of abuse that you faced in your life, and really help work through, all those experiences and emotions that come with it. But specifically as a coach, I work with the how and the now. Like, how are we going to work on these behaviors right now to set you up for future success? And so it's very action oriented. When you work with me, we're going to focus on goals and making things happen and changing certain behaviors. And sometimes that's hard because, recovery from an eating disorder, there's a certain amount of ambivalence. There's a part of you that does not want to recover. I get that. I've been there. There's also resistance because it doesn't always feel good to recover from an eating disorder physically. But that's where, as a coach, I really help you. And it's not just in session. If I had to name like the biggest thing between coaching and therapy that really stands out is in between session support. So I am not only here for you 1 hour a week, but I am here for texting and email support if you need it in between. And sometimes that makes a huge difference for people. So therapy definitely has its place. I do not replace therapy, but I am the person that's by your side almost every day as you are going to the next stage of your recovery.
Why should someone choose you as their coach?
Well, first of all, I've been in your shoes. I struggle with bulimia and also had some anorexic tendencies. So I would kind of cycle in and out of the two disorders for 7 years. And I never dreamed that I would be even sitting here doing this video and helping other people. Like, if you had told me that when I was struggling with my eating disorder, I would have thought you were out of your mind. So the biggest reason is I've been in your shoes. I know how it feels, and I know how hard it is to go through recovery and work through all the multitude of aspects that you have to work on. But in addition, I've gone back to school, if you will, and have 3 certifications doing this work, and also now have the skills. So it's the experience and the skills. Why? You know what? I think it'd be much better than me talking about myself, which always feels weird, right? Who likes to do that? Lorianne, you were going to do a testimonial. Come in. Come. Sit down for me. So, Lorianne was one of my clients and worked with me a little over a year and is doing amazing. And when I told her I was doing this video shoot today for my website, she said that she would love to do a video testimonial for me. And her story is super powerful. Not only has she recovered from her eating disorder, but she also now wants to become her coach herself and intends to go to school next year to be able to go and do that like into 2020, 2021, something like that. So I'm gonna just stop talking now.
Well, when I first met you, I was extremely untrusting of myself. We remember I was extremely insecure and very scared to come out that I even had an eating disorder, but you guided me along very gently, and your compassion was always there in every choice that we made together, and you went at my own pace. Some things were very scary for me, but you had been there and you could relate, and you took me from a very insecure little caterpillar and turned me into a fearless butterfly, and you laid down a solid foundation and really made this way for me to be able to follow in your footsteps. So,
and that is the greatest compliment. I'm so proud of you. And while you don't have to go become a coach, your story I know is going to help other people. So it's like a trickle effect.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And now I'm ready to go help others.
Well, you've done great. You really have, and you're going to do great things.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you'd like to speak about?
Just that this is my passion. I know how hard it is to recover from an eating disorder. The statistics show the relapse rates are really high. and that a lot of people go undiagnosed. What I'll tell you is if you are struggling with food in your body, whether you have a diagnosable eating disorder or not, you can break free. You can have that place where you can accept your body. You can be free of these food rules and this food prison and all the fear that comes with it. It is possible. I've been in your shoes. I know it's scary, but I'm here to help guide you. I'll hold your hand and we'll do it together.